Gingras controls the puck ahead to McKegney on the near wing for Hall. He's checked by Conroy, gets by him, dumps the puck in, and takes a mighty hit from Troy Murray, and there'll be a penalty called. Now Richter runs into one of the Chicago players. It's Steve Thomas, and they mix it up a bit. Thomas trying to get at Richter and do a lot of bumping. McGill from behind his own net. And the whistle stops play as again the goal behind Darren Pang has come loose. Now Raglan and McGill are going to go. Raglan mainly standing in for Doug Evans in this bout, and Raglan, who is feisty to say the least, ends up on the bottom of the pile right at center ice. And of course, historic Chicago Stadium, they've had many a big-time pro boxing match right in that same area.
Now they've seen it before. Raglan, as you said, stepping in for Doug Evans. He and McGill were pushing back and forth. Raglan steps in. McGill, obviously no newcomer to this type of event. But the Herb Raglan started at center ice as McGill and Evans collided. And that's when Herb Raglan just stepped right in and went right after McGill. Not even asking any questions like, do you want to drop your gloves? So he just took the advantage. You may see an extra penalty for that.
Blues changing players. Everett Santapass in his own zone to Bob Basson, the former Islander. He shoots the puck in, and the Blackhawks, Dwayne Sutter is offside, and he and Gino Cavallini are going to go. Dwayne Sutter and Gino Cavallini.
Well, Sutter was pushed offside by Gino. Gino just wrestles him right down to the ice. We've seen boxing at center ice. Now we see wrestling inside the Blues blue line. Gino just picked up Sutter and threw him right down to the ice. Not too many punches thrown.
You know, in the initial altercation between Raglan and McGill gets 2 minutes for roughing, probably the roughing of Evans. Raglan gets 2 minutes for instigating a fight, and they both pick up 5-minute fighting penalties. More penalties coming up. A lot more hockey yet tonight from Chicago Stadium. There's no score. This is St. Louis Blues hockey. Out at center ice to Fedorko. 2-on-1 with McKegney. Manson back in front to McKegney, and a sliding save by Pang, who finally covers up. Oh, what a great save by Darren Pang, and now the tempers flare as a couple of Blackhawks surround Tony McKegney. Thomas along the boards wrestling with Benning. Puck comes loose to Doug Evans. Then he's tied up. 25 seconds to go in the period. Blues try to get the puck out. Zezel belted by Manson, and there's going to be a penalty to Chicago defenseman Dave Manson for that check on Peter Zezel, and it'll come here at 19:40 of this scoreless first period. Just past the 5-minute mark, second period, no score. The Blues and the Hawks here in Chicago. Doug Wilson carries the puck in, drops it at the blue line for Dirk Graham. He drops it at the left point for Savard. They have the man advantage. Savard takes a shot to Doug Wilson at the blue line. He shoots and scores. They have been deflected.
A nice pass from Savard. Wilson lets it go, and there's a crowd of about 4 people in front of the net. No one can't see the puck at all. Dirk Graham's to the right.
5 there. Zezel intercepts, can't clear. Doug Wilson sets up, lets the blast go, deflected, loose in front, a shot, they score! Rick Vine. Puck still in the Chicago zone along the near boards, and Bassett brings it to center ice, a pass to Dwayne Sutter. He moves around, Benning shoots, he scores! Dwayne Sutter!
Circus was being taken out of the play by Manson along the board. Circus just turns. Murray was going up ice. Puck just came up off of Thomas's stick. Caught Murray right in the face. He went down, and the whistle was blown to stop play. Face-off will be right at the blue line here. 11:36 remaining. Mentioned some fans here cheering the Blues.
Now in the corner, Zezel to McKegney. He's hit from behind by Basson. Pang knocks the puck off the board. Gingras plays it in front. All alone, Zezel. He shoots. Zezel. Mahar breaks out. Right wing feed for Craig Cox. Trying to cut in on Yanni. Centers from the side of the net. Manson clears to the corner. Puck loose. Here's Manson with it. And play stopped. There's a Blackhawk player hurt down behind the Chicago net. Tough game. Where's the doctor? These guys are like wrestlers. They've got little ketchup bottles with them.
Well, Craig Cox goes down the right side. Yanni tries to take him out of the play, falls down, runs face first right into the boards.
That's tough on the teeth, to say nothing of the nose.
Now, if he was good looking before, I don't know what he'll look like now, but he takes a rough one as he goes right into the boards. Gets a cut and a bloody nose out of the ordeal.
Thomas to center ice to Larmer. Trying to move around Paul Cavallini. Shoots, hits the back of the net. Thomas behind the net. Loses the puck. Larmer has it. He's checked. Poke check. Driven down by Paul Cavallini. Oh, and then Savard boards Cavallini. Zezel moves in. I'm surprised Savard didn't get a penalty for running Paul Cavallini from behind into the boards. The Chicago fans thought Paul Cavallini should have had an initial penalty. Kind of went in with his elbow or his arm and checked the Chicago player.
All this happening to the right of goaltender Greg Millen behind the net. As Cavallini comes in with a high arm. I guess it could be an elbow. Takes down Larmer. Savard comes in after that from behind, puts Cavallini into the boards.
I call that, Bruce, an elbowing penalty to Gino Cavallini and a boarding penalty to Denny Savard if I'm wearing a striped shirt.
I would have to agree with you.
Zezel with Holland, McKegney, Richter, and Gingras. Hall gets the puck, shoots. That hits a leg, goes into the corner. Zezel, a good use of the body, centers, and McKegney scores. Oh, give Peter Zezel a lot of credit. What a marriage that'll be. 3 minutes to go in the period from the faceoff. Doug Wilson shoots and scores. Leaves it for Fedorko in front of the penalty box. Now back in the blue zone to Brian Benning. He fans Graham all alone in front. He fakes. He shoots. And Millen has the puck. How about that? Millen makes the save on Graham, and Graham thought it was in and checks with a goal judge.
Tries to go from his backhand to his forehand. Millen gets his stick over there to stop the puck. Oh, and as we have the fortune of replay, I may have to think that that puck crossed the goal line. The referee Dave Newell says no, and so does the goal judge. And I can see why Dirk Graham is arguing the play.
It certainly on the replay looked like it was in. Flips the puck well inside the blue zone over the end red line. Benning touches the puck, and it's an icing call against the Blackhawks with 6 seconds to go in the second period.
Now Brian Benning showing his legs there as he gets back before Presley to win the race for the puck. Icing instead of continuing play, and now two people shoving back and forth.
Presley was in the corner chasing Benning. He looked at Benning as if he might want to bump and shove a little, and McKegney and Manson bumping, and Paul Cavallini says, look, if you want to fight, speaking to Manson, I'm the guy on the ice that does the fighting here. It's not McKegney, it's not Hall, it's not Benning, it's me, number 14. And Manson says, well, any time, but of course the officials are well in the way. Ahead to Noonan at center ice. Behind the back pass to By. He feeds to the right wing, and there's not a white jersey within 20 feet. And behind the net, Ronning crunched by Thomas. A big penalty coming up. And it'll be against Steve Thomas for charging on little Clip Ronning. And the Blues need the man advantage, and they're going to have it. Can they break this streak of being unable to score with the man advantage? We'll see. 4-1 Chicago. This is St. Louis Blues hockey.
Steve Thomas goes off. 2 minutes for charging against Cliff Ronning behind the net. Ronning going back with the puck. Thomas coming up. I guess it could have been called charging or elbowing as he got his elbow up. It's not too hard to do on Cliff Ronning.
He shoots it right back in. It's gloved down by Doug Wilson. And fed out to Thomas, who clears the center ice. Tilly tries to shoot it back in, can't. Then Thomas sidesteps Tilly with Savard. 2-on-1. Roberts back to Savard. He shoots and scores. Denny Savard. They own the puck after the center ice faceoff. Conroy flips it in wide of Millen. He leaves it for Benning. Benning, Paul Cavallini, the defenseman. They can't clear. Kept in by Manson behind the net. Chicago trying to center, and a battle for the puck, and finally referee Dave Newell stops play, and we've got a battle royal, and Craig Cox is out there, so watch out. Those of you with us on Channel 11 get a good view. Dwayne Sutter being pinned to the boards. Well, Cliff Ronning even wants in. So everyone on the ice, with the exception of the goalies, leaning up against the boards behind Greg Millen, and the linesmen have their work cut out.
Bob Basson was throwing some punches. I don't know who he was trying to hit back there. Finally, referee Dave Newell came in and told him to stop it.
Hawks control the neutral faceoff. McGill with a puck. Pass broken up. Richter gets it ahead. Zezel, a backhand shot. Pang the save. Zezel behind the net. Centers, hits the back of the net. Centers again. Oh, McKegney shoots and scores. Tony McKegney, his second goal of the night. And again, the great effort behind the goal by Peter Zezel. Here's Benning starting out of his own end to Fedorko. Now to Paslonsky in the right wing. Little long flip shot. The save by Pang. He plays the puck around the far boards at the left point. Benning into the corner to Gino Cavallini. To Fedorko behind the net. He's taken out. Here's Savard. He tries to get the puck out. Can't. Paul Cavallini centers in front of the net. Vive clears the puck away. Spins Fedorko down. And passes the puck to his former Maple Leaf teammate Steve Thomas, who comes to center ice. And he can't get around defenseman Benning. Now Thomas wants to fight Benning, and they're going to go at it against the far boards. Let's see what Benning can do. We know he's got to do something. He's got a bear hug with his left arm on Steve Thomas, and the linesmen come in. I don't believe that Brian Benning has too many stripes on his sleeve in the boxing department, but he certainly wasn't backing down. It's the second time tonight he hasn't backed down.
Well, it all started earlier along the blue line, the Chicago blue line. It all started, the two started shoving, and then it was one-on-one, Thomas against Benning. And after the shot in, Benning lost his stick. Thomas was willing to throw it back at him, it looked like. And we'll see what happens here. 5:39 remaining. Hawks with a 5-2 lead. This is St. Louis Blues hockey.
Puck kept in. Larmer a long drive, deflects wide. Savard in the corner. Centers. And Herkus intercepts. A pass up in the left wing to Evans. He runs into Rick Vive, and that stops him on a dive. Savard at center ice has the puck stolen by Herkus, but Herkus is checked. And the Hawks control in their own end. McGill shoots the puck out. There'll be a penalty. Vive sent sprawling. And at center ice, there'll be a fight. Evans is on the bottom of the pile. I believe it was Evans who was going to be penalized for an infraction on Vive. McGill, I believe, went after Evans, who's on the bottom. Doug Wilson trying to keep Raglan off. And I believe it would be Evans and McGill on the bottom of this pile with 2:44 to go here in the third period. Dougie Evans, as you know from watching him, is rather feisty. And Evans is also rather small. He bumps and grinds, and he gets socked around pretty well. Now he and Vive have words. Vive, of course, has a helmet on, a shield, and two hands on his stick. Now away from the action, McGill and Raglan. They went earlier. One linesman trying to keep Raglan and McGill away, and Newell, the referee, comes over and says misconducts, I believe, to both McGill and Raglan. Evans is yelling at Vive, and Vive doesn't want anything to do with it. Shot deflects to the side of the net. Millen knocks it down. Gingras in the corner battling Noonan. Finally the puck around to the other side, and Cox back for it. He clears it off. Manson to center ice. Dave Manson with the puck. Now behind the play, Vive and Cox. There'll be penalties, and then Cox wants to fight Vive. Vive doesn't want to fight. Then Santapass wants to get to Cox, and finally it'll be Cox and Manson in the main event, and Cox ends up on the bottom. Meanwhile, in the corner, it's Richter and Santapass, and this is the best one of the night. And Dave Newell trying to get the other players away, as in the corner, it's Richter and Santapass. Santapass, of course, a 20-year-old, a pure Indian, in his second NHL season, and they go down. Oh, boy, we're going to have some fun this Saturday night at the arena, aren't we?
We got two more coming up this month, this Saturday at the arena, and the 26th back here.
Well, Rick Vive seems to get into things.
Starts things.
And gets out of things in a hurry, doesn't he? Has the stick in his hands always, and the helmet with a visor on. Meanwhile, Gingras and Noonan battling each other, and the crowd loves the effort by Everett Santapass. He did all right for himself in that fight with Dave Richter.
Yes, he really did. Santapass going right at Richter. See, blood over Santapass.
Santapass did all right. He got a little blood there. I'm not sure if it's his or Richter's. Boy, this crowd now going crazy. Manson will follow him down the stairs. And they're really into things here in Chicago. They are a happy group, to say the least. For the Blues, who had come in, having won 4 out of 5, their 3-game road trip is even.